Welcome home to day 4 of the Kerrville Folk Festival. We had a great day of New Folk yesterday, and I think we're going to have another great day today. We also have a great show planned at Kennedy Theater this evening. Please come out and see that. We're going to close it out with the great Peter Rowan, and I think it's going to be an extremely special night. I'm going to take a moment to make some announcements. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Jumper for doing our video for this. They do such an amazing job, and we are so grateful that we get to put this out to the world as part of the New Folk competition. A couple of things. We do have a policy. We relaxed our policy of cars in and out the gate with a loading unloading permit. We have ended that. If you have a car in the campground that is not permitted, please get that out of the campground or you will be either stickered or towed. So thank you for that. I want to talk a little bit about New Folk for a minute. Tonight, we will typically announce New Folk between the second and third set at Kennedy Stage tonight at the show, so around 9 o'clock typically. There is a great New Folk tradition that most of you probably don't know about. On the day that we announce, or the night we announce immediately before, former New Folk and current New Folk gather together in one place back near the merch booth to wait for the announcement. And it's one of the most touching things you will ever see to have so many former New Folk, winners and not winners, come back and converge to be there to support this year's class of New Folk. Andrew Delaney affectionately calls it the Vigil at the Tree of Perpetual Sorrow. But we call it New Folk Announcement Area. It's back by the merch booth. If you want to see something totally beautiful, I would encourage you to go see that. I also want to say tonight, after the announcement, back at New Folk Camp, we will have Cover Sunday. This was started about 15 years ago in the midst of a terrible thunderstorm, and you can only play covers. And the whole thing is, there's not a single one of our New Folk finalists today that's picked up a guitar and started playing music because they wanted to win a contest. Every single one of them was inspired by someone, some artist along the way, and this is really a chance to celebrate that and remind them why they're doing this to begin with and who their inspirations were. The other thing that will happen is on Thursday night after our Threadgill show, Mike Williams will be hosting Club 7. For those of you who don't know, if you are not a New Folk winner, you're a finalist in a year but not a winner, you are forever a member of Club 7. It's very clear that if you weren't in the top 6, you obviously were 7th. Obviously. So it is a chance. Mike will host it. It'll be a chance for the New Folk finalists to reflect on the year the judges got it terribly wrong and play a few songs and have a great time. So I encourage you, if you are Club 7, to come out to that. If you're not Club 7, please come out and watch it because it's a remarkable, across decades span of talent. So I encourage you all to do that. That's about all I have to say. At this point, I'm going to introduce our very special guest DJ, as I said last night, Mark McKinnon, won New Folk 50 years ago in the first judged New Folk, so we are delighted to have him back with us as our MC. Please give it up for Mark.
Thank you, thank you. Welcome to round 2. I'm assuming that most of you were here yesterday. How many were not here yesterday? Okay, most of you were here, so I'm going to try not to repeat too much, but a few things do bear repeating. And right off the top, let me just say that this is a singular, unique event in the country, and it means so much to these artists. And it is hard to get here. I mean, back when I won it, there were probably 30 entries. There were 1,200 this year. So you imagine, 1,200 entries and a very, a really compelling judging process that's really arduous and thoughtful to get it down to ultimately 6 winners. So you think, and so this is the preeminent, in many ways, kind of the only, well, not the only, but the preeminent songwriting festival in the country. So if you're an up-and-coming songwriter of any age or merit, you're probably entering this contest, right? So, so this is Mecca for songwriters, and art is a tough road to travel. It's not like being an accountant or something. You don't go to school and get on a junior track to partnership. It's a tough road to go, and getting tougher all the time. So this is for the finalists and for the winners, and an affirmation of their art, which is so meaningful. And I'll just say, for many of them, it's going to be life-changing. It was for me. The reason, first of all, as I said yesterday, was kind of just gave me a great boost of confidence that I needed at the time. But it also got me to Texas, which changed my life. I ended up in Austin. I lived in Austin for 35 years. Just a quick anecdotal side, because you guys are so folk literate, you may get a couple of these names I just want to throw out there. So the first day that I got from Kerrville to Austin just blew my mind because there was so much live music, and there was none in Nashville at the time. And I went to the Hole in the Wall, where John Garza, we know the Hole in the Wall, right? It's the longest running live music venue in Austin. And John Garza, who who I'd met out here, was playing there, and he let me sit in. So that was my first night in Austin. I just man, I'm moving here immediately. And then really shortly after that, I formed a band with a guy whose name at that point was Bill Toll, but he later became Gurf Morlix. You guys know who Gurf is, right? Okay, yeah, Gurf, produced Lucinda's Car Wheels on a Gravel Road, and a great artist himself. But the interesting sidebar to this story is that the roadie by the way, we called it the Goats of Arabia because we said people are just going to come to see who the fuck is the Goats of Arabia. It's such a weird name. But anyway, we had this roadie who had this big old hat and kind of big guy and had duct tape all over his shoes and his, duct tape everywhere. But he was a great roadie, and at the time he called himself Deputy Dog. But he later became, I called him Izalb Yalov. Can you figure out what that is? Blaze Foley. Blaze Foley was our roadie for that band. Anyway, it was a wonderful time, and I ultimately, had an exercise of wisdom that realized that I was probably on the track I was on going to end up at the Kerrville Holiday Inn as the second act when I was 70. So I shifted gears, but a lot of these people these are going to be, you think of some of the names who've been through here. Robert Earl Keen, James McMurtry, David Wilcox, Jimmy LaFave, and on and on and on. Some of these people are going to be them in 5 years. They are going to be the hottest thing in the country, and you get to see them here first. And by the way, yesterday was unbelievable. Every single act was fantastic. What a tough, right? And you guys were good too, because I made it clear that you're part of this. The judges have some criteria. It's performance, it's songcraft. It's performance, but it's also a wow factor, and you're part of that wow factor, and that was very evident yesterday. You guys were really good about giving everybody feedback, but there were some real popping moments that I think were helpful to the judges. Without further ado, let's get into the program, and our first act for today is going to be Isabel Shaye. Isabel is from Arlington, Virginia. She's performed in ensembles, classical theater, jazz on guitar and clarinet for many years, but has only performed her own songs very sporadically over the last 10 years. She's thrilled to start performing her songwriting and more. Born in Northern Virginia, based in Boston and New York. Isabel started writing music and teaching herself guitar at 13, known for her meticulously crafted guitar-vocal duets. Her forthcoming first album, The Giant Squid, explores mysteries of the mind and elusive creatures of the depths. I want to hear that. Give it up for Isabel.
Thank you. You getting anything? You're not getting any guitar. No. What can we do? Okay. They're not getting anything from my guitar, so they're gonna put up a quick instrument mic. Thank you so much to the sound people. Not sure what's up. Thank you. Hi everybody. How's everybody doing today? Day 2 of New Folk. I'm so honored to be starting off another day of incredible songwriters. I'm so blown away by everybody. Just so moved by this whole experience. This is such a special place. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna play you 2 songs from my first album that's coming out this year, called The Giant Squid. And it's a long time coming, so it feels really special that I get to play these songs as it's coming out. It's about the insane power and mystery of the mind to change our reality and consume us and overwhelm us with this overarching metaphor of the giant squid, which is this mysterious sea creature of the depths that we don't know a lot about. Squid fans back there. Me too. This first song, it's about having trouble staying present. Fantasy. No, yes, amazing. Maybe a little bit higher would be great. Awesome. Idealization, fantasy, rumination, all the things that trick us, and pull us from being present, which is ultimately all that there is. I pull oracle cards sometimes, and there's one that I pull sometimes that's a hummingbird, and the hummingbird card is be here now. And I've seen 3 hummingbirds in the last 2 days, so that feels like a really special sign. This is called Wander Around My Mind.
All I think about is sunshine and who you are and where. I dream of distant summers and the color of your hair. The world around me glistens, but I can't hear a thing. I know that I should listen, but instead I sing. Light. I think of you in mornings, I dream of you at night, and all the while I'm floating and life keeps moving on. I drift above the bluebirds and pass the day. Wander round my mind, see present, past, and future's gone. Stranger friends and people floating, wander round my mind. See what else you find. Present, past, and future's gone. Stranger friends and people Thank you. This is a song that I wrote while living in Chicago, freezing my butt off, which seems like a distant memory now in the wonderful heat of Kerrville. I much prefer it. This is a song about longing for a new version of yourself, and not being able to fully hang on to it. Someone who's wiser, happier. I wrote it when I was longing for more comfort with my body and wisdom, and of course that only comes with time. So when I play this years later, I already feel closer to that version that I was longing for. I think we all long for different versions. Now I'm longing for something different. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you're out there going, no, I never long. I am perfection. And that is awesome. And you should find me after and give me some advice. Or maybe you've lived a long life and you're like, I've shed many versions, and I'm finally happy so. Yeah, but this is about that. This is called I Met Her in Chicago. I met her in Chicago in the final days of spring. She looked just like I pictured, like almost everything. Summer, I pleaded her to stay. She said you'll meet someone new soon, and she'd be back someday. She slipped my mind in autumn, distracted by new limbs. When I remembered I'd forgotten, I'd grown a tree in him. She visited in winter. She fell in with the snow. Just when I told her that I missed her, she said she had to go. Time passed like it used to. I wrote her letters in my head. I told her what she's missing, and remembered. She even smiled. She even smiled. She even smiled like me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You know that feeling of stress and panic when you lose your cell phone? Right? Who's feeling panicked right now? All right, it's right here. Whoever lost a phone.
Here you go, Brian. Thank you.
By the way, my wife and I did this last
That's
night.
good. Yep.
Something
Hi.
you might consider as well, which is to kind of keep track of your own scoring for the performers. Did you see how it lines up with what the judges ultimately decide tonight? I think they're doing it on kind of a 3-2-1 scale, which is an easy thing to do. 3 being great, 2 okay, and 1 not as great. But it's just kind of fun to have your own, People's Voice nominations. So next up is Brian Johannesen. Hi, Brian. Brian is a singer and songwriter from Iowa City, Iowa. Steeped in the Midwestern songwriting tradition, his songs are heartfelt and wry and often tell stories of ordinary people and the surreal lives they find themselves living, which is the best of folk music. Brian.
Thank you, yeah. Oh, yeah, a little more guitar. There we go, yeah. Okay. Hi. He just said it, but my name's Brian Johannesen. I'm from Iowa City, Iowa. Hence the Greg Brown shirt. Hell yeah. This first song is a song I wrote during the pandemic. Being in Iowa City was pretty great for the pandemic. I mean, it wasn't great, but all things considered, people mostly tried to protect each other, and there's some great trails to walk around, and there's a lot of great therapists. I started seeing a therapist during the pandemic, mostly because I did this thing when I had to cancel a whole bunch of shows after my album came out. I said on the internet I would write a song about anything you wanted if you gave me at least $5, and that was not nearly enough money. I wrote about 50 songs, made like $250. So I needed help. Anyway, I had this strange experience, and I wrote this song because my therapist told me to, so. I was walking through the woods a couple weeks ago when a sight done startled me. Was a whole whale carcass sitting in the ash and the oak and the hickory. It was big and bloated and ugly as sin and half covered over with leaves. There's a squirrel running around, he was pulling acorns right out of his baleen. Now baleen is what whales have instead of teeth. It's kind of like a toothbrush. So I kept on a-walking cause I didn't have no reception on my cell phone. And Mama always told me if you find a whale carcass in the woods, best leave it alone. And I'm Midwestern, so it's just in my blood to go on and mind my own. But I can't help but thinking about the whale in the woods and what the hell went wrong. I'm walking around wondering, what in the world? Maybe his body was dropped from an airplane on the way to some sea world. Maybe he jumped so high that the wind done caught him in a hurricane and gave him a whirl. Maybe he just up and walked straight out the water, chasing a fine-finned girl. That word you just heard is fine-finned. See, fins are what whales have instead of arms. Well, a couple days later, I went to my shrink. She asked, what the hell's the matter with me? Said, it's a big, long list, but something so strange just happened to me last week. I told her about the whale, and she asked what that could mean about what's inside my brain. I told her I didn't know, but if you asked me last week about a guy who saw a whale in the woods, I'd have told you he's insane. I'm walking around wondering, what in the world? Maybe his body was dropped from an airplane on the way to some sea world. Maybe he jumped so high that the wind done caught him in a hurricane and gave him a whirl. Maybe he just up and walked straight out the water chasing a fine fin girl. I'm walking around wondering, what in the hell? Maybe I walked past a witch in the woods there and she cast some funky spell. Maybe that whale was real, and to tell you the truth, I figure it might as well. Maybe it was the middle of a pandemic and I hadn't had any human interaction in a while. I was going just a little bit crazy, and my brain just needed a little story to tell. Thank you so much. This next song is about water, which is a problem around the world right now. Too much water, too little water. I'm sure y'all are very familiar with that down here in Texas. And on that note, they keep building these AI data centers that are using up all the water, and they're probably just going to write damn songs with the thing. So we can do that, and we use a lot less water. I think they're building one down by San Marcos, and I think they have a city council meeting on June 3rd, so if you're from that area, go there and tell them to knock it off, you know. Grandpa bought this section back in '53 after surviving the Depression in Normandy. Back then the water just flowed so free, you could draw it on and on until infinity. My old man buys his seeds from Pioneer, and the corn just grows taller and taller every year. He used to put me on his knee up on that big combine, saying one day this old plot of land would all be mine. Man from the county said it's been going round. Wells have been drying up from town to town. There's 1 billion gallons that somehow disappeared and ain't coming back for a couple of 1,000 years. So from Texas to Dakota, it's a race against time as the whole entire plains chase the table line. And to get down to what's left, you need a big old drill. And folks like me and mine just can't foot that bill. This farm shouldn't exist here. Should be tall grass, prairie, and sky in order to live here. We had to bleed the damn thing dry, and now everything we've grown here is gonna shrivel up and die. And so it seems, will our Ogallala dream? We were supposed to meet the lawyer about an hour ago. Daddy sat down in his chair and refused to go. He didn't say a word, just pulled his hat down over his eyes as the wind kicked up a curl of dust just outside. He was born to die here, full of rust and dirt and pain, while Mama rubs his back at night with lidocaine. But me, I'll have to die 1,000 miles away, working for some asshole with an MBA. But if we didn't need the money and it were up to me, I'd have covered every acre with prairie seed and let the flowers grow and the roots sink down and begin to heal every scar we carved into this land since the wagon wheel. This farm shouldn't exist here. Should be tall grass, prairie, and sky, and in order to live here, had to bleed the damn thing dry. And now everything we've grown here is gonna shrivel up and die. And so it seems, will our Ogallala dream?
Beautiful. Hey, Sophia.
Hello.
Welcome.
Let's see. Yeah, that's
Next up is Sophia DeLeo. Welcome, Sophia. Sophia's from New York City, or she lives in New York City now, I guess, right?
yes. I
From
do.
Falls Church, Virginia. Self-taught musician whose songwriting is characterized by its fearless honesty, focusing on themes. Holy,
Let me see.
I'm
Is that better?
sorry.
I can't tell if I'm turning it up or down. Great, this way.
Focusing on themes of womanhood, trauma, and the complicated journey of healing,
Yeah.
she released her single Peter Got
Uh-huh.
Engaged
Hello,
in
hello.
January
Yes. Yeah, I can hear me.
2025. Her song Till You Do will be released next month on the 3-year anniversary of Roe v. Wade's reversal.
Yeah.
Please welcome Sophia Del Rio.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me. I promise I'm like a really fun person to hang out with, but I've been asked to play like 2 of my saddest songs today. So sorry, but thank you for for listening with an open heart in advance. I used to be quite the party girl in my early 20s, especially in college. And drank a lot, made a lot of really questionable decisions, and I got a lot of stories out of it. And these are stories that I used to think were kind of like wacky anecdotes to tell friends. And then a decade went by, and I went to therapy. And I saw a photo of somebody that I'd been friends with proposing to his girlfriend on Instagram. And it kind of dawned on me that maybe the story I'd been telling myself wasn't as wacky or funny as I thought. So this is a song called Peter Got Engaged. Peter got engaged, and I feel really weird, 'cause I'm still thinking about his fingers in my mouth. Can you hear that? Oh, well, sorry, I spilled the beans of the first line. I'll just have to start over. Oops. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll start over. Pretend you heard nothing. Thank you. Peter got engaged, and I feel really weird, 'cause I'm still thinking about his fingers in my mouth on a mattress on the floor. It's been 7 years, and I thought that I was fine. No, it never crossed my mind. It was a funny story, I'd tell at parties every now and then. But the last time I tried to laugh about it, I ended up crying. I don't say the words, not yet, but something tells me I just might be getting there. I'm almost ready, it wasn't my fault. Blacked out in a party house, if a girl falls and there's nobody around to hear it, did she make a sound? And can you still call that a One shot turned to 2, and 2 turned into 3, blocking out a broken heart. I can't stop it once it starts, 'cause then all the lights go off, and everybody leaves, and he follows me upstairs. Close my eyes, it's like I'm right back there. It was a funny story, I'd tell at parties, just a joke to crack. But the last time I tried to laugh about it, I had a panic attack. And I don't say the words, not yet, but something tells me I just might be getting there. I'm almost ready, it wasn't my fault. Blacked out in a party house, if a girl falls and there's nobody around to hear it, did she make a sound? And can you still call that a good time? The truth is I was never lucid, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I get the feeling maybe he did. Unsteady, unstable, I wish I were able. Would it hurt a little less if I could give it a label? Well, I don't have a clue. I don't know what to say or to do or what to feel. How does anybody heal when the wound keeps opening up every time I hear that name? And I feel sad and I feel stupid on the outside. Nothing
But Peter got engaged.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I'm gonna keep the party going with a song that I wrote the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned. I'll be releasing it on the 3-year anniversary of that later in June. I grew up in Northern Virginia, down the street from a women's health clinic that also happened to provide abortion services. And every weekend when my mom would drive me to piano lessons, hi Mom, she's watching on the live stream, there was a line of protesters holding up signs with like some really terrible images, and a lot of them said, like, in big block letters, abortion kills children. I was about 6 years old, so I was learning to read, and I was asking questions. So I had to learn what that was pretty early on in life. And so it's always felt like an issue that's very, very close to home for me. And it feels close to home this week. I want to get on my soapbox for like a hot second. There's a woman in Georgia right now whose name is Adriana Smith. She suffered a medical emergency, and her body is being kept alive essentially as a human incubator because Georgia has what's called a heartbeat law. So I've been thinking a lot about that this week, and I hope you think about her and her family while I play this song, because you never think you'll need it till you do.
Saturday morning, piano lessons. I read the warnings on the signs. I'm still learning letters, but when I put them together, my mouth forms the word for the very first time. And my mom explains into my 7-year-old brain, it all makes sense, like 1 + 1 that equals 2. You never think you'll need it till you do. "2016, my college apartment. Clean undies, 1 too many days. He's out of town, and I'm trying to figure out where I can go, but for the moment I just pray. And I'm sad and stressed when I get back from CVS. My destiny rests in a box labeled clear blue. You never think you'll need it till you do. It's a life you take for granted. It's a hand over your mouth. It's a thing I never planned to live without. If I have a daughter, I'll have to tell her there was a time when we were free. Now I can't protect her, and the world doesn't respect her right to choose whoever she might want to be. And I can't explain. I feel anger, I feel pain. In God we trust, in justice, it ain't nothing new. But I still just can't believe it's really true. You never think you'll need it till you do.
Thank you so, so much.
In addition to being a really talented songwriter, Sophia is also one of the most part of the underappreciated, underpaid, most important professions in the world. She is a preschool teacher. Martin, you and I have some connections.
Oh, yeah?
which is great because it allows me to talk a little bit about me before we talk about you.
We have the same hat.
Martin's from Denver, Colorado, which is where I was raised and am from. And Denver has a really great folk music tradition. And this is going to tie to Martin in a second. So, my babysitter growing up was Judy Collins. Her father was a blind piano teacher in Denver. And I grew up learning to play guitar from Harry Tuft at the Denver Folklore Center. Of course you know Harry, because you teach at Swallow Hill Music, which is now the evolution of the Denver Folklore Center.
Judy Collins' piano is there.
Is that right?
It is, yeah, it's there.
I didn't even know that. I'm learning. So Judy Collins' piano is there. So Martin is from Denver. He grew up playing bluegrass and folk music with his family and started seriously writing songs in college when he began performing with his bluegrass band Long Road Home. He's an educator and teaches folk and bluegrass music at the University of Northern Colorado and at Swallow Hill Music in Denver. We go there all the time. We love it. What a great place and a really just a hotbed of folk music. I'm just going to mention one other thing about Martin, and I promised that I wouldn't get political on any of this because I'm here to get away from all that, and I'm sure you are too. But Martin was also a national park ranger, which I think is so cool. First of all, I love their hats. But one of the things that I observed during the last presidential election, when for a time we had two 80-year-olds running for president, was that you can't be 66 and be a park ranger in America. So I thought, well, that's a pretty good rule. Maybe we should apply it to politics too. The other thing I'll just say, is, and again, I'm not going to get on the third rail here at all, but one of the, there've been a lot of cuts to a lot of federal services over the last number of months, including park rangers. And what people are going to discover when they go to the national parks this summer is, guess who cleans the toilet? So thank you, Martin. Check it out.
Thank you. It's awfully great to be here at Kerrville. This is my first time, and thank you. Everybody here is so amazing. I want to say a special thanks to all the folks who make all this happen, and all of my new friends here and new folk. It's pretty great to be here. I've been riding fences, a cowboy in the cold, alone out on the prairie, patching up the holes, tightening the wires, setting posts out on the plains. I've been riding fences in the rain. Well, it doesn't seem that long ago you said you'd come out here with me to this little prairie ranch house where you asked, where are the trees? Well, you didn't like the dust and wind. You said you felt alone. You said you didn't know if you could make this feel like home. But you really must have loved me, 'cause you decided that you'd stay, and the house took on your spirit, the grass took on your sway, and the trees that you planted, they grew perfect in that place. And you right all along, I do enjoy the shade. Well, a cowboy's life is spent trying to control the wild range, bringing order to confusion, fighting off the change. He's a master and protector, the man with the final word, patching up the barbed wire to keep his herd secure. And I've been thinking about the day the doc said your time had come to go. Now I understand why my old man said it's better not to know. All these days and hours thinking of what reason there might be that God would choose to call you home instead of calling me. I've been riding fences, a cowboy in the cold, alone out on the prairie, patching up the holes, tightening the wires, setting posts out on the plains. I've been riding fences in the rain. Thank you. You know, from 2017 until, it's from 2015 until 2017, I lived in Cairo, Egypt. Has anybody ever been to Cairo? Yeah, it's kind of like Kerrville. It's hot there, too. No, it's like Kerrville if Kerrville had 25 million people. But Cairo's kind of a big music scene. There's a lot of what I would call folk music. It's Arabic folk music. And, of course, being a musician, I went to buy an oud because I wanted to have an oud because I was in Egypt. And while I was there, I met all these like great Egyptian musicians who were just hanging out at the oud shop. It's kind of like hanging out at the guitar shop. That's where you go to meet musicians, or the sheet music store. Anyway, when we were getting ready to come home, my wife's like, well, you should make a record over here with some of these musicians. I was like, that'd be a great souvenir. That'd be fun. And I had a friend that I met at this oud shop. His name was Essam El Hagar, and his uncle is Ali El Hagar, who's like one of the most famous singers in the Arabic world. He's like the Michael Bolton of Egypt. And so he had a studio, and Essam's like, well, I know an oud player who would play with you. And I was like, well, this is great. And it all fell together. And I was getting ready to go in the studio. I was like, I don't have anything to record. And because I was a national park ranger, and I like talked about Western history a lot, I remembered back to an event in American history when somebody thought it would be a good idea to bring a bunch of camels over from the Middle East to Texas and the Southwest. And I was like, I'm going to write a song about that. And along with the camels came these camel drivers, and one of them, his name was Haji Ali, and he was supposed to be like a funny, gregarious guy. But nobody could say his name right. They called him Hi Jolly. And he's buried in Quartzsite, Arizona. If you're ever over there, you can go say howdy to Haji Ali. He probably won't talk to you, but... So this is the song I wrote. Well, now me, I am a camel man, I'm a Syrian, I'm an Ottoman. Came across to the Rio Grande under orders from Buchanan. Geronimo, our Apache foe, he rides the range to Mexico. Further than our horses go, we think you can change the show. So call me Hi Jolly, Haji Ali. I'm a man of war in the Camel Corps, riding out on the Mojave. Hey, oh, Geronimo, what do you think of me? By golly, I'm Hi Jolly, Haji Ali. Mojave to Camp Verde, El Paso to Albuquerque. We packed up our dromedaries, showed the West our camelry. With bales of mail, we hit the trail, going where the mules failed. After years of that travail, we just couldn't make the sale. So call me Hi Jolly, Haji Ali. I'm a man of war in the Camel Corps, riding out on the Mojave. Hey, oh, Geronimo, what do you think of me? By golly, I'm Hi Jolly, Haji Ali. camels to Vamoose when the army asked us to reduce. Left Geronimo to his old papoose. He and me, we called a truce. Now out there all around the west, you'll find my camels dispossessed. Even though I tried my best, I guess you know the rest. So call me High Jolly, Haji Ali. I'm a man of war in the Camel Corps, riding out on the Mojave. Hey, oh, Geronimo, what do you think of me? By golly, I'm High Jolly, Haji Ali. By golly, I'm High Jolly, Haji Ali. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kerrville.
Great job, great job. Let's just want to remind you that there is a foundation here, the Kerrville Foundation, that does all kinds of great things and programs throughout the year. And just for $100, you can sign up and be a member of that community and tie into the programs and feedback to the board and be part of the programming and all kinds of cool stuff. So think about, if you're really committed to this idea,
check.
think about joining the foundation. Also, let's give a big round of applause to all the volunteers who do an amazing job here. Now we got Katie Dahl up. Hi, Katie. Katie's from Wisconsin. She's a nationally touring singer-songwriter who lives in the same rocky, rural Wisconsin peninsula where families live for 175 years. Wow. Her tough-minded songs dive deep into questions of family, queerness, the land, and self-revelation. She's also a successful musical theater book writer, lyricist, and composer. That is so cool. I love musical theater. I mean, I've seen 19 of 20 musicals on Broadway, and I went to see Frozen alone. Here's a great note, too. During football season, Katie listens to a Green Bay Packers podcast every day and can name every player on the Packers roster, and she'll rank them for you upon request. Kick it, Katie.
Thank you. They ask you for like a little anecdote in addition to your bio. And I polled, it's hard to like think about what's interesting about yourself. And so I polled literally 4 friends. What is an interesting fact I should put? And everyone said Packers. So that's what I did. I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8. 'Cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. I've been playing in the water for most of the day. Now the sun had set down most of the way. Big orange balls sinking into the gray. Me just jumping into the waves. I threw the picture away. Someone must have taught all the other little girls the rules. How to want them all but take only a few. That's not how that verse goes, y'all. I'm gonna sing it the right way. Someone must have taught all the other little girls the rules. How to eat their cake and have this too. Someone must have taught all the other little girls what to do. How to want them all but take only a few. How to be flat and thin and new. Except that all the other girls seem to feel bad too. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. I'm not the kind of girl who cares what anybody else might say. I only hate myself a few dozen times a day. And a few dozen more for feeling that way. Get hit by the bullet and the ricochet. It's a game I don't know how not to play. How does anybody learn to say, hey, not today? It's a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. It's such a waste of time. It's just a waste, and I don't have that kind of time. Nobody has that kind of time. I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8, 'cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. Thanks, everybody. Now it's time for my song about camels in Wisconsin. Just kidding. I live in Wisconsin, and I did recently, did anyone else hear that Radiolab episode about how camels are originated in cold weather? It was really, I recommend, especially in light of the camel knowledge we all have now. So I live in Wisconsin with my partner and our 9-year-old son. And I am his 7th favorite musician, he has told me. So I feel like the whole Club 7 thing, I already get it. I'm there, man. I've dealt with the disappointment of the 6 before me. The guy who wrote "It's Raining Tacos," that's his favorite. Yeah, for sure. And the most insulting thing is that the other 6 like rotate. Like I'm consistently at 7, but the other people, there are people who sort of wash in and out of the top 6, and I'm just perpetually at 7. And I feel like I like Texas so much more than like a queer, nerdy English major Midwesterner should. Like I just love Texas, and I love the weather. That's so crazy. I love the I love the tortillas in the grocery stores, because I feel like our tortillas like probably by the time I eat a tortilla, it may have existed for 12 months. Like 4 months in the store and 8 months in my refrigerator. And if I had eaten it within the first 2 months, it actually would not be different than it is at the 12-month mark. You know, it's not, so there's no real thing pushing him out the door. And I feel like it's just, is not even the same food here. It's just a whole different ball of wax, and I'm very grateful to be here. And also, I was driving around Kerrville, the city, this morning. And one thing is I saw a brand new baby fawn who had just been born. So that's a good omen for all of us, I think. And another thing is I saw my favorite, I had forgotten about this from past trips to Kerrville, but I saw my favorite Kerrville establishment, Guns N' Laptops. And like, it's so efficient. Not only did we not have to say the whole word and, you know, like, whenever I'm traveling around, you know, you go one store for your laptop and then you have to drive halfway across town for your gun, and it's, the rest of the world doesn't know what it's missing. So, thank you for listening. I'm Katie Dahl, and I'll leave you with this one. Oh, thank you. Turns out I married a man. That isn't what I meant to do. I see women when I'm dreaming, women when I'm waking too. And if I had to start again, I'm not sure he's what I'd choose. But we don't get to start again, and I wouldn't want to. What they say about girls like me is that we can't commit, that we'll bark up any old tree just for the hell of it. Well, I'm not looking to bark, but yes, I miss a woman's touch. No lover is everything, even one who is enough. He is a river, he is cool and deep. There are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. On my wedding day I wore a dress. These days I wear a suit. Pretty sure I'll never wear a dress again. Pretty sure I never wanted to. There were so many years I was pushing up against the dam, calling out to everybody, can't you see who I really am? He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. And also bugs. The other day my old pal Kate said, lately you are very gay. It made me happy when she said that, 'cause inside I really feel that way. And sometimes my hand in his seems to block up everyone's eyes, so that they only see the river, not the big wide sky. He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. He is a river, he will always be, but there are birds on the banks. Thank you so much.
Great job. We're almost halfway through. We're going to have one more performer and then take about a 15-minute break. And then we'll come back and finish with the rest of our new folk performers.
That looks good. I think so, yeah.
By the way, there's been some talk of the Seven Club. It's a pretty prestigious group. Two members of the Seven Club are Lyle Lovett and Lucinda. So
Guitar feels good. I could get a little more.
just think about that. Lyle Lovett and Lucinda couldn't cut it.
That is perfect. Thank you.
Abigayle Oakley, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. Abigail is from Las Vegas to Nash Vegas. She blends the melodic richness of folk pioneers with the lyrical honesty of today's confessional singer-songwriters. Her songs explore the complexities of life and existential questions that shape us, often with a sharp, tongue-in-cheek wit that adds layers of humor and insight. She loves chamomile tea, too. Or chamomile, anyway. Yeah, tea. Chamomile tea. Yeah. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So happy to be here. This is a dream come true, and you can just feel the love all around camp, and it's beautiful. So thanks for welcoming us new folkers.
I need to mow my lawn, but there are dandelions in every corner. If I mow them down, do I commit dandelion murder? I am a superstitious goldfish fish getting in my way. I wish someone would just tell me which wish I should make. When you can have anything, and you can have everything, it's paralyzing, 'cause you have a choice to make, and you have your mind to change. Dandelion, I am trying to hold the vision. This random article says dandelions take lots of water, and all my grass will die if I let them live any longer. The power's in my hands, it kind of freaks me out a bit, like God is whispering, girl, you go manifest that shit. 'Cause you can be anything, and you can have everything. It's paralyzing, 'cause you have a choice to make, and you have your mind to change. Dandelion, I am trying to hold the vision. So take a deep breath, close my eyes. Sorry for the spit, thank you for the wish. Dandelion, dandelion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A few of us were chatting backstage about how you can't prepare for the love you'll feel when you step on this stage, and it really is profound and beautiful. So thank you all. And it's weekends like these, it's 18 days like these that give me a lot of hope for the world. I know the world is rough right now, but we have so much hope because we have each other, and there are so many beautiful, beautiful, kind people here. Yeah. Woohoo. So this next song is about love, and love is the most powerful force. And so this song goes out to you and all of your Kerrville loved ones, and I'm just so grateful to have so many new friends coming this weekend. And these aren't just any ordinary friends, they're like amazing, talented, beautiful friends. So I'm just feeling like the luckiest.
I think every flower would die. There'd be no groceries in the grocery aisle. The blue sky would be on the ground. Yeah, the whole wide world would be upside down. And the birds would forget how to sing. There'd be only winter, no more spring. The sun would stop shining outside. It'd be so dark, we'd lose our minds if we don't do this for us. Let's do this for all mankind, 'cause no one wants to see what the world would be if you ever stop loving me. I know you get cold feet, that's just one thing your mom told me, so hang on to your hat a little more. I'll keep your heart and your toes warm if we don't do this for us. Let's do this for all mankind, 'cause no one wants to see what the world would be if you ever stop loving me. California would break and melt into the ocean, and I think that I'd go with it. London Bridge would fall, that'd be the end as we know it. Mornings whisper, but we never listen. So if we don't do this for us, let's do this for all mankind, 'cause no one wants to see what the world would be if you ever stop loving me. No one wants to see what the world would be if you ever stop loving me.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Great job. Okay, take 15. We'll be right back with the final 6. All righty. Well, we are, as they say in Texas, down to the lick log with our final 6. I've been informed that as we are eagerly anticipating the winners, look for some puffs of white smoke. That's when the judges will have made their decision. Or they'll be puffing smoke. Either one. I'm not sure. I think there's going to be somebody mentioned a memoriam tomorrow night. Well, I'm sure they'll think of some people who've gone on ahead, as they say. But I was just informed that one of my very favorites, Jimmy LaFave, passed 8 years ago, just last Wednesday. And if you ever got to see Jimmy LaFave, man, that guy, whoa. What a voice that guy had. What a great performer. Anyway, we are into the last round. Come on out. Hello, Holly. This is Holly Lovell. Another Denverite. We got a lot of Colorado going on here, which I love to see. Holly's music dives deep into the human condition, connecting with listeners through evocative storytelling. Her latest album, released earlier this year, tells a deeply personal family story of addiction, grief, and the long path to healing. Though she was born in Denver and lives in Denver now, she grew up in Australia. She moved there when she was a kid with her family. So, welcome, Holly.
Thank you. Hello. Hi. Don't be alarmed. My accent is very American. You may have met my dad. He is the one with the very deep Southern accent. Came all this way to see me play 2 songs. So. I'm so honored to be here. I really am. This is something I've really needed, and I'm just incredibly grateful to be here with all of you. I put out a record in February that really dissected the loss of my uncle to a drug addiction, and writing it was a huge processing for me of my grief and my family's grief and anger and just going through past stories and painting, my experience with this man. And that's it was been really wonderful to release and also really difficult. So getting to play these songs for listeners I'm just grateful for the opportunity. This song is a song that I wrote towards the end of my writing process. I'd written a lot about myself and my mom and my family, and I realized my uncle had not really been represented himself. I kind of started to wonder about, that maybe the one who was hurting me was actually the one who was hurting. So I explored that a little bit. I had a relapse. I had a comeback. I had a letdown feeling, stuck on repeat. I try to meditate. I wish it all away. I leave the TV on to feel a part of something. If I fall, no one sees. I don't have a friend. If I cave, please believe me, I'm in the lion's den. If I break, I give in. Try to understand. It's just me and that lion. I hear it speak to me. Familiarity puts me on my knees and then back on my feet. I never understand who has the upper hand. I'm one in the same, both the slave and the chain. If I fall, no one sees. I don't have a friend. I give in, try to understand. It's just me. It's just me in the lion's den, me and my darkest friends, me and my vices, me trying to fight it. It's me face to face with it all through the night, waiting for the sun. If I fall, I have nothing left. If I break, please forgive me. I'm in the lion's den. If I cave, I give in. Try to understand. It's just me and that lion. It's just me and I'm trying. It's just me. And the lion don't bite if you feed it. Thank you. I, in all of my infinite wisdom, submitted songs in 2 different tunings. So while I had been, that's not, there we go. While I was still, sorry, this is not, there we go. While I was still in my grief process, writing a lot of songs, I also got pregnant and had my first son. Thank you. Oh yeah, he just gave me an over-the-head clap. He's also here. And at the time of the loss of my uncle, I also lived next door to my grandma, whose son she had lost. And growing up, watching her relationship with him, I always felt a lot of frustration and a lot of protectiveness over her, over the way she got treated sometimes. And I wanted to stand up for her and wanted her to stand up for herself. And then I had a baby. And suddenly I just saw her a lot different. Hold on, let's not let that detract from our time. There we go. Mama, do you remember when he was yours, your baby boy? You made him happy, you were his world. You fed him at your breast and ran your fingers through his curls. Stop thinking about you and your son. And no matter how you loved him, you couldn't change the outcome. I can already feel it slipping. How do you watch it go? Mama, how do you let go? Mama, joy and sorrow? Mama, how do you forgive? Mama, how do you forget? What are the things you've learned to live with? Is there something I can do? Or am I just another helpless mother?
never say no. It used to bother me, but now I see you'd do anything, I'd do anything, yeah. I can already feel it slipping. How do you watch it go? Mama, how do you let go? Mama, how do you hold on? How do you learn to carry joy and sorrow? Mama, how do you forgive? Mama, how do you forget? What are the things you've learned to live with? Is there something I can do? Or am I just another helpless mother? This joy, this sorrow, Mama, how do you forget? Mama, how do you forgive? What are the things you've learned to live with? When he's out of your hands, it's out of your hands. Nothing you can do now is gonna change that man. Is there something I can do? Is there something I can do? Am I just another helpless mother?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm Holly Lovell. Thank you.
So part of the songwriting musician life is, obviously huge dedication to the art, but it's just persistence too. And I mean, I have my own versions of it, like standing outside a club 40 years ago by the dressing room trying to hand Kelly Willis a tape, a cassette tape. Would you please listen to my songs, Ms. Willis? But the better version of that is, and it's a little bit apocryphal, but the contours of it are pretty right. Christopherson, in his early days in Nashville, the apartment that I got to sleep on his couch in was right next door to RCA Records, where he worked as a janitor when he first got there. And the main talent at RCA was Johnny Cash. So Chris would kind of hang around and wait till Cash came out, and he'd do the same. He'd like, Mr. Cash, I've got a cassette. Would you listen to this? And Cash was kind of notoriously a hard ass. He'd like, get the fuck out of here. But this is an example of persistence. Chris was also, famously a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and was also making money flying helicopters into the Gulf of Mexico at the time. To supplement his janitor salary. So one time when he got the helicopter, he knew where Cash lived, which was this huge compound in Nashville, went and landed it on the, in the back 40, kept the rotors going, and Cash comes out there, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck. He says, not till you take my tape. And so, and it was Sunday Morning Coming Down, and Johnny Cash cut Sunday Morning Coming Down, and that's how Chris Christopherson happened. Welcome, Christopher Worth. How are you? Like the lid.
I'm doing medium rare.
Love it. Boy, we got a Portland, Oregon representative here from the Northwest. Chris hails from the Pacific Northwest. Christopher blends a unique style of bohemian blues and melodic folk, and I love this. He says, I live in the wind. Take it away.
This first song is called Runaway. It's a real pleasure to be here with y'all. Thank you very much. Sometimes you gotta do the right thing and it hurts somebody. And that's what this song's about. Sometimes the path you take is painted in dotted lanes. Speed down the interstate, don't even know your name. Then comes the pouring rain, batters at home again. I'm leaving you, my love. Sometimes you turn the page to peacocks and palisades, fight for a living wage from all of the love you gave. Is this the only way to cash in your chips and cut your losses for the day? If I do this right, then I'll do you wrong. Am I just a runaway on the sad all the day, broke like a water main, leaving without a warning? Am I just a lonely flame? This is my saving grace, another great escape. Do I just run away from our love? Sometimes the second best is far better than the rest. Your fist beats upon your chest, a trophy that you have kept. When you got nothing left, remember the way I placed my palm upon your neck. Ooh. If I do this right, then I'll do you wrong. Am I just a runaway on the shadow of the day, broke like a water main, leaving without a warning? Am I just a lonely flame? This is my saving grace, another great escape. Or do I just run away from our love? Whoa, from all our love. Ooh, remember that river day, slipped and we slide the grave. Those kids splashed us in the face. You held me against the wake. The sun passed into the shade. Just like the love we made, I fell for you to shame. Oh, am I just a runaway on the shadow of the day, broke like a water main, leaving without a warning? Am I just a lonely flame? This is my saving grace, another great escape. all I love. All I love. All I love. A brief public service announcement. It's the only merch I brought, and it's free because I'm good at business. I got one more for you. This is my brother's guitar. He left it in a closet, and then the top popped off, and I found it and kind of pulled it back together. And it never had opened up to him or anyone like fully in its glory. And I was starting to play in open C tunings and put it in open C, and it was like, motherfucker, I'm here. And so I was asking about which guitar to bring to the gods of songs, you know. And I was going to bring Marion, who's my normal travel companion, but they said, bring the one that brought the songs with it. So this is my brother's guitar. Shout out to my brother out there. I really think songs are spells. And one thing I think about is we have to repeat them so often, and I think a really good song, it grows with you, and it changes in meaning as you play it more, maybe as other people play it. This one is from my dad. It's called Afterglow, and he's a pretty fast-moving individual, and we just got the news before I was going on this trip that he had this like kind of heart condition. It was the first time his existence became fallible. He's always in such a hurry. I was hearing about the other day someone saying we really got to balance in our lives between being and doing. If you just do too much of one, you're in trouble. So I wrote this song for him. It's called Afterglow, and I was just thinking about what if we could have all the things that we realize when somebody dies now? Why can't we have that now? There's something that'll always be saved for that, for us to carry on. But maybe we can pull a little bit of that down. This song's called The Afterglow. No, it's not called The Afterglow. It's called Afterglow. Hey, a the can fuck everything up, okay? Running wild through the desert and valley I go, growing like a river is flowing. I see for miles secrets in silence I hold, knowing all that is golden. What if I could turn back time, live another life where I didn't fall in fast to fall behind, run into the wild with a vision? What if I'd only lost control? In the afterglow, where my body goes, my spirit knows I'm not alone to carry the load. I'm halfway to heaven, I wanna go. Ooh, to the skies, velveteen purple demise, glowing with the embers of morning. Flying high on the winds of the old mountain tides, blowing without a warning. What if I could lose my mind, live another life where I didn't reach too far, hold the line, sacrifice myself to the limit. What if I had nothing left to show? And you have to go where my body goes, my spirit knows that I'm not alone to carry the Lord. I'm halfway to heaven and I wanna go. Ooh, I wanna go. I wanna go. I wanna go. I'm ready to go. Yeah. What if I've been hypnotized, sleeping in the spell of the city that shut my lips and closed my eyes to the whispers of the prayers of beginnings, calling me back to my one true home. We have to go where my body goes, my spirit knows that I'm not alone to carry the load. Halfway to heaven and I wanna go, and you have to go where my body goes, my spirit knows that I'm not alone to carry the load. I'm halfway to heaven and I wanna go.
Great job. So, music is such an important aspect of our lives, and it has that rare ability to take you back to a place or a time just like that. You can hear a song, and you're like, you remember where you were, when it happened. And I think for a lot of artists, there was probably a moment that really, you know, sort of the light bulb went off for you about your commitment to music and the fact that music was a path you wanted to. For me, it was, I was like 8 years old, and we had this horrible basement with all this, you know, like cement, and it was just like just a mess of cement and stuff. Anyway, and it'd been there for a bunch of years. My mother said, "Listen, if you and your brother will clean that up, I'll give you either 50 cents or this Meet the Beatles album." You can guess the rest. And I played I Want to Hold Your Hand 1,000 times. I mean, it would just play it, pick up the needle, play it again, pick it up, play it again, pick it up, play it again. And, you know, from that moment on, I said, there's nothing I'm going to do besides breathe, sleep, and play music for the rest of my life. And for a lot of my life, that's all I did. You know, so that there's those moments. And, you know, Jackson Browne, Saturate Before Using was another kind of, you know, like, oh, my God, moment. So I think we've all had those moments. And now we're welcoming Helena Hallberg. Am I saying it right? Okay, good. Helena's from Zurich, Switzerland, born to Swedish parents. She connects with her listeners through stories centered around mental health, empowerment, and multiculturalism. Hallberg combines the musical aesthetics of Joni Mitchell with the earworm qualities of ABBA, which is sure to leave you humming for weeks. And she grew up speaking 4 languages. Just a little side note, I mentioned this yesterday, but it's so amazing. that the one precursor to the New Folk thing, New Folk contest, was something that they did at the Newport Folk Festival. And in 1967, the three New Folk winners were Chris Christopherson, James Taylor, and Joni Mitchell. Great.
Thank you. Well, I would say something about being really far from home, but this is my home now. Yeah, so it gets really confusing because I sound like this, and then I have Swedish parents, but I was born and raised mostly in the German part of Switzerland. But I actually lived in the States as a kid for 5 years, from age 4 to 9, which is why I sound the way I do, and can go under the radar and just kind of blend in over here. And the place that I lived, or my family lived, was Silicon Valley in California. In the 90s. So, and if you know something about nihilistic optimism, that would probably sum up Silicon Valley in the 90s. There were a lot of great ideas and a lot of tech, obviously. It was kind of like you could do anything with a dream and a Palm Pilot, you know, and you know, women were gonna girl boss their way to a C-suite executive job and 2.5 kids and do it all farting glitter, you know. That's what it felt like sometimes. So growing up and living in such an optimistic place as a child, and then growing up and seeing how things turned out is a little disillusioning. And I actually went back to Silicon Valley for the first time as an adult last fall. And it broke my heart because our favorite bookstore had been turned into a private equity office. And that was a place where I remember having a lot of community and a lot of wonderful moments with Americans. And those years shaped my life so much and tied me forever to this country. So it was a really sad thing to see. So that's what this first song is about. It's called 92.
Yes, I was born in 92. Are these same voices here for you? I do not know the medicine for this here fever dream we're in. You spent your life building cities while you kill the downtown, setting us up for success and to successfully drown. You can spend your whole damn life dodging vices, but now you're leaving us to bleed. Remember back in 99, 2001 was mighty fine. Now we're addicted to a screen, and we know what it could have been. We spent our lives in the suburbs, counting cars that drive by, do some damage from your high horse, and then still wonder why. You can spend your whole damn life dodging vices, but now you're leaving us to bleed. Maybe one day we'll be picking the flowers in Antarctica. What a bouquet we'll be laying at your grave. You spent your life building cities while you kill the downtown, setting us up for success and to successfully drown. You can spend your whole damn life dodging vices, but now you're leaving us to bleed. You can spend your whole damn life dodging vices, but now you're leaving us to bleed.
Thank you. This is so daunting. I'm so impressed by everyone else. Seems to have such a cool demeanor. Thank you. And you feel that. Everyone tells you that you're going to feel it at Kerrville, and then you actually feel it, which is crazy. So I actually very seldomly travel with just guitar. I think this is the first time in 2 years that I've traveled with just guitar, because I play an instrument called the Appalachian dulcimer. Yeah, that Joni thing was important for me. So yeah, I play the Appalachian dulcimer, and it's so amazing because I get to combine like my European background with this traditional American folk instrument, which is insane. And so I spend a lot of time online. I make like educational videos, and I teach workshops and stuff, and I spend a fair amount of time on social media because I like making stupid videos with my Appalachian dulcimer. And you know, one of my hopes playing this instrument is that I can pass it on to a next generation, because I don't want it to fizzle out, because I think it's such a great instrument. But I don't know if you've been on social media lately. It's a cesspit. Everything is an affiliate link now. And you can get like 10, 15 seconds into a video until you realize that they're trying to sell you something. Like they'll tell you their whole life story, who knows if it's true, and then there's a little link on the bottom. So buy my product. It's tricky because so much of it is tied up, as it always has been, in our self-confidence, and they're really good at pointing out your flaws, especially on social media. So I wrote a song about it. It's called Good Consumer.
Search of anything that makes the blue fade. Out for self-help, DI homemade shrink. Out come the vultures to make a good buck on another brand new meat base. Main character moment, as they say. But are you a problem or are you a prize? When they finally did catch you, what was their price? So run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They're all on your tail and selling you something. You feel the weight of the world, they feel the wallowing mind of a good consumer. Run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They mean so well, and you feel so dumb after purchase is made. When the dopamine fades, they took your money and left you behind. You better run. Here comes the holy roller, GLP injections, another gadget, dodging deals and treatments for your face. This supplemental, that or other scientific gamble, either way, you know that aging is a disgrace. But are you a problem or are you a prize? When they finally did catch you, what was their price? So run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They're all on your tail and selling you something. You feel the weight of the world, they feel the wallowing mind of a good consumer. Run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They mean so well, and you feel so dumb after purchase is made. When the dopamine
when your face card declines. So run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They're all on your tail and selling you something, and you feel the weight of the world. They feel the wallowing mind of a good consumer. Run, baby, baby, oh run, baby, run. They're all on your tail and selling you something, and you feel the weight of the world. They feel the wallowing mind of a good consumer. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You guys really are a terrific audience, and I hope you know how much these artists appreciate all your enthusiasm and feedback. Hello, Jessica. Welcome. This is Jessica Willis Fischer. Jessica's from Nashville. She's raised playing traditional folk music from an early age. She performed with her family in the Irish country and bluegrass scenes, appearing on the Opry. That's amazing. And America's Got Talent. Wow. Her sophomore record, Blooming, is an ode to the power of knowing who we are, beautiful scars, and vulnerable strengths included. She's the published author of a memoir about her upbringing called Unspeakable. Please welcome Jessica.
You guys hear me? There we are. Hello. Hi, Kerrville. I am Jessica. I've come from Nashville to hang out with you guys. What an amazing time it's been so far. I want to come and spend the whole entire time. My eyes got real big when I saw 18 days, but I get it now that I'm here. What an amazing lineup we've had so far. I'm just honored to play a few songs for you guys. It is true, I was part of a family band. Anyone want to guess how many kids are in my family? More. Somebody said it, 12. I'm the oldest of 12. So, well, I had nothing to do with it, so don't blame me. But I feel like I've sort of lived two lives, or two different parts of my life, and they were very different from each other. The first 24 years, I was the oldest in this big family, and then we had a family band, and there were a lot of things that were really cool about that. We were doing really well and playing these cool gigs and everything, and doing our little song and dance. And then the truth was that there was a lot of really dark things that were also mixed in there and had been there from the beginning. And if you've been part of, today with social media now, this pressure to put an outward picture, put a smile on it, put a performance on it. And the truth is, life and humanity is really messy, and some of the hardest things that we're going through are so hard to articulate. I just ate a bug. That was interesting. I thought my protein was a little low, so we're gonna fix that. But this song comes from this really harrowing time, kind of the bridge between my two lives. In 2016, I was 24 years old, and I had no phone, no car. I was not allowed to have a relationship or friendships outside of my family and my dad's authority. We were basically one little mini cult, and he had been abusive in every way that a person can be since I was a little kid. And I was holding all of that inside, and finally I hit the point where I knew if I didn't get out, I probably wasn't going to make it. And a little bit after the fact, after taking a break from music, doing a ton of therapy, and just getting on my feet, I wanted to put the energy of that time into a song. So sometimes you have to let the pretty picture fall away or burn it up and start over. This song is called Fire Song.
Wake up, wake up. This ain't just a dream. The smoke is filling up the room. Can you smell the kerosene? Let go, let go. There's nothing left to say. There's popping in the timbers, and the sky is about to cave. If we leave now, we won't come back at all. Till it's all burned down and the bones are charred and the moon is black as coal. It's too late now to try and count the cost. What's done is done, what's lost is lost.
Look up, the flames are getting higher. Oh, the devil's in the details and the truth is in the fire. Take heart, the rain will come around. The ashes of our innocence return to hold the ground. If we leave now, we won't come back at all. Till it's all burned down and the bones charred and the moon is black as coal. It's too late now to try and count the cost. What's done is done, what's lost is lost. What's done is done. Whoa. Oh, if we leave now, we won't come back at all. It's all burned down and the bones are charred and the moon is black as coal. It's too late now to try and count the cost. What's done is done, what's lost is lost. What's done is done is done. Wake up, wake up. It's not a dream, oh no.
Thank you. Thank you. Music is such an amazing tool, an amazing thing for healing, for community, for truth-telling. And I'm so glad that it's come back around in my life. And I just was putting out my second album as a solo artist. And the first record that I put out as a solo artist was called Brand New Day. And to me, that was about surviving and all the different ways that can, all the different forms that can take. And this album's called Blooming, and to me it's about thriving. And so I'd love to sing you a little love song, the things that keep me really excited and hopeful about life, even on the other side of some really hard things, are love, nature, art. And so this song's a little ode to all of these things, sort of wrapped up in a Irishy old-time sort of sound. It's called Find a Lover. And there's a part that comes back a lot. If you guys want to join in, I've heard some great Kerrville sing-alongs happening since I've been here. So I'll give you a little sample of that. It goes, go and find thee a heart of another so lonely. Go and find thee, find a lover for me. So the go and find thee, perfect. Technically it's the T-H-E-E. So really get the tongue in there. Go and find thee, find a lover for me. Here we go. Down where the hills go rolling together, ready yellow with an evening glow. Up where the birds float high as a feather pine, everywhere the west wind blows. Go and find thee a heart of another so lonely. Go and find thee, find a lover for me. Wow, you sound so beautiful. Far from the heat of spring into summer, oh, I wonder what the time will tell. Deep in the ground I grow undercover like the pennies in a wishing well. Go and find thee a heart of another so lonely. Go and find thee, find a lover for me.
chasing for the great unknown. Send me a sign, I'll learn me a lesson, climb it up and over on my own. Go and find the heart of another so lonely. Go and find a lover for me. Low in the valley, hope is awaiting with the promise of a winding road. Joy of the journey worth undertaking, letting go for to lighten my load. Go and find the heart of another so lonely. Go and find a lover for me. One more time. Go and find the heart of another so lonely. Go and find a lover for me. Thank you so much. I'm Jessica.
We are getting close to closing it out with just 2 performers left. And it's been great, hasn't it? Hi, Madeleine. Welcome. This is Madeleine Roger. This is representing our international entrant. Madeleine, we want to tell you that despite some particular exceptions, everybody at Kerrville loves Canada.
That's convenient because I love everyone at Kerrville.
That's good.
It's perfect.
So she's from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and while deftly playing the guitar, it's Madeleine's artistry as a songwriter that can silence a room, uniting her lyrical mastery with a breathtaking voice that comes from the soul. Born in Winnipeg, Canada, she's a wanderer and a seeker, traveling across the continent and overseas, ever in pursuit of the song. She's obsessed with kayaking. That's very cool. On lakes, streams, rivers, oceans, down rapids, you name it, she loves it. Canoeing, rocks too, anything to do with the water, and she's there. How about a warm welcome for Madeleine Roger from Canada?
Hi. Oh, I just want to look you all dead in the eye. I have a feeling that there are some other folks here who refuse to behave. And maybe if you know a parent is like, don't touch the stove. And I tend to be enamored with these kinds of people. And when there's somebody so magnificent that you meet and you can't figure out if you want to run towards them as quickly as possible or just stand back in awe. Slip away quiet. God, I wish she'd let me know when she's gonna stay and when she's gonna go on. Wild Iris don't give a damn if she's in love or lost or anything else. She said it's all about living free. No lock and key and no throwing roots down. If I let her be, if I let her be, would she come to me freely? Wild Iris, who is she? Animal soul in a tender body, talking a mile a minute, crying for the lost, I can't forget it. And Wild Iris don't give a damn if you're a woman or a man or anyone else. She said it's all about heart to heart, not parts or making fair weather plans. If I let her be, if I let her be, ooh, Thanks. I've just been so in love with so many songs these last couple days, and it's been just unbelievable hearing all of the incredible craftspersonship, and I heard some incredible songs in the campground and all of these amazing peers. I'm going to share one that I wrote a couple years ago. My Oma, which is my German grandmother, was diagnosed with terminal colon cancer. And it was the year of 2020. Yeah, a real garbage time. And myself and my Oma, and myself and my mom and my aunt became the three primary caregivers, along with other folks in the family. And my brother and I started this club with Oma called I Give You My Word. And what we were doing in that time is once a week we would send each other a new writing prompt. And each of us had to come up with something new to share. Because my Oma was a poet and an illustrator. And my brother's also a songwriter. And so right up until her very final week, we were still making new art together. And because English was her second language, she always had all of these questions about how the English language worked and how words could take on so many meanings. And so I think this song was born out of that time, just processing what all of that meant. And yeah, some of those conversations about the malleability of language seeped its way into this one. Getting on a plane to somewhere you have never been, where you watch the lonely travelers try to find home, wherever they wander. What is terminal to me? A pile of pills on the counter and watching you fading. I whisper 3 times I love you and open up your window so you can hear the sparrows sing. I'll see you in the morning. What is terminal to you? Is it where the branches end? In springtime flowers, where you stop to look in closer, filled up with the wonder of a miniature beauty. What is terminal to me? A pile of pills on the counter and watching you fading. I whisper 3 times I love you and open up your window so you can hear the sparrows sing. I'll see you in the morning. What is terminal to me? Not the pills on the counter, not watching you fading. Just saying 3 times I love you and opening your window so you can hear the sparrows sing. I'll see you in the morning.
One to go, and we're done. Can you imagine having to just pick 6 out of all these incredible performers the last couple of days? Oh, my God. Well, it'd be pretty cool to even be in the 7 Club, or as I call it, the Lyle and Lucinda Club. Our final performer, Tai Shan. Welcome, Tai.
Hi.
Another representative from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a Nashville songwriter, a mom to a 5-year-old, and private teacher of songwriting, voice, guitar, and ukulele. She runs national songwriting intensives online where her students write a song a week and is the co-founder of Grassroots Songwriter Collective that runs local retreats for songwriters. Very cool. She's happy to be back as a finalist this year. She's a mom and loves sauna and gardening. Please welcome our final contestant of the New Folk Festival competition, Tai Shan.
Can I just acknowledge you guys have been sitting here and just listening so intently and give you guys a round of applause. You really do. What a wonderful moment you created. The other day I was at the park with my daughter, and we brought one of those 99-cent kites, and we're trying to like chuck it in the air. And sometimes, you know, it'll catch like a little gust of wind, and the pure look of joy on her face just helped, because 2 seconds later it would nosedive, and you're just trying to get it up. So a few days after that, I was sitting down with my friend Dahl, who's a co-writer of mine, and I'm telling him about trying to chuck this kite into the air, and sometimes it would soar and sometimes it would nosedive, and he said, "That sounds like my marriage to my first wife." So we thought there's got to be a song in there. This is called How It Flew. Two sticks newspaper, we colored the borders red and green. We brought it to life on that little kitchen table with some string. We walked it to the park in the swirling breeze of April, two lovers trying to catch the wind, and it flew like a dancing smile out of the blue, forever in a single afternoon. Forever ends too soon, leaving only the feel of how it flew. Two lives so busy, we never noticed how we lost the spring. That kite stayed in the closet, wanting only to be wanted by you and me. We talked about the park, but we never made it back there. Just hung on to the memory of the way it flew like a dancing smile out of the blue, forever in a single afternoon. Forever ends too soon, leaving only how it flew. Some kites are torn to pieces by the storm. Some they break loose and race away. For us the wind just died. Our kite fell to the table. We signed it and went our separate ways.
much too soon, leaving on me how it flew. I remember how it flew. Thank you. I'm a mom of a 5-year-old. And every morning I take her to school. And sometimes it's a little hard. Pulling up to school on your first day felt like I was giving my baby away. For 5 years it's been you and me, from bottles to a band-aid on your first skin day. Like a bear on a tree, you held me close. Neither one of us wanted to let go. I fought back tears as you walked away. I said to meet you right here at the end of the day. And I waved goodbye at the drop-off line. Weekly soccer practice and PTAs. I made the props for your first school play. When you came home with questions riddled with fear, I said that kind of thing don't happen round here. Didn't mean to lie at the drop-off line. I heard the sirens before I heard the news. Driving in a panic, I was coming to rescue you. Ran like hell and prayed it wasn't too late. But they held me back and said, ma'am, it isn't safe. I wish I'd asked them, who are you keeping safe? People showing up with flowers and food. Oh, I'm crying on the floor of your bedroom. Do I call a cop or a congressman who's gonna make sure it never happens again? To die. You were alive when I waved goodbye at the drop-off line. Pulling up to school on your first day felt like I was giving my baby away. Thank you.
That's a wrap, folks, and be around tonight when we announce the winners after the judges do their hard work. How about just a big round of applause for all the performers, all the volunteers, Deb Rouse, everybody else who puts on this show. Well done, right? Take this energy. We can't change the world, but you can change your community. Take this love, take this hope. Be human hope machines. Deb, I think, has a final word. for this afternoon. Deb Rouse, are you here? Here she comes. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain.
Was this an awesome year or what? Yeah. I want to thank Grassy Hill. They provided the funding for the live stream that you see. If you're watching on the live stream, please know that it's even better in person. We will be announcing the winners tonight around 9 o'clock between sets. And of course, next weekend we will have the winners concert with the 6 winners of this competition performing right here on this stage next Saturday. So please come out, please come to the show tonight. Have a great time, and we are delighted that you're here. Thanks, y'all.